Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roadology, and I'm going to talk to y'all about the bill, the hospital bill that happened from the article. You know, they gave a severe damage on Battlefield and looks on what's going to happen into the game, its image and whatnot, whatever. So right now they're out of the hospital, and we got to see what the bill is, just to see if the game is actually, going downhill or if it's actually, you know, doomed to the dark ages or something. So right now, I'm going to talk to the people who's in the Battlefield community in the Reddit, looking at the leaks right now, right? So the people who've seen the leaks and said that this game is good, it was basically majority of the people. Majority of the people in the Battlefield community is saying that the game looks good, the game plays good, the game feels good. For all the people who's, you know, in the labs, watching from afar, like, us, or, just seeing what's going on, right? Hearing all the patches that's going on. So from the last patch that happened, it was mainly the bugs that was getting patched for the game. The bugs, all the sounds for the game. It was mostly sounds and how the game sounded. So with that being said, it might seem like Battlefield isn't complete by how the last, update was, how the last update for the alpha was, right? It was only sounds for the game. We still know that from the leaks that, the weapons aren't polished and, some weapons are more polished than some other weapons and stuff like that. So they are seriously taking their time with the game. The update probably will not the update, the release of the game probably won't even drop this year. Again, I'm gonna keep saying that the release probably will not drop this year. A beta is the most reasonable thing to drop this year because if they're pushing for a March release date, and the article now said that they pushed it to May of a pronounced release date, that the beta could actually give us time to feed us and actually see from our perspective, that's actually the best move for them to do, to give us a beta to see, like, is this the best move to release it anyway and just keep working on it. We already know there's way more content in the next Battlefield than in 2042. We know that there's 2 times more weapons in the base game, and it almost multiplies to 3 times when you add the 10 more new weapons that's in premium. And then you have 3 already new maps that's in the game, and then they have a battle royale that they're working on, and then the new leak just came out that we see we see the opening, the opening of how the battle royale opens, when you get into the helicopter, you're ready to jump out, have fun with the jump out system and everything like that, right? So we already see that the map is big as hell. So we know that there's going to be at least more than 7 maps into the next Battlefield. And why did I bring up that assumption and theory? Is because obviously ev- all maps, not all maps, but if EA was in the right mind, and I'm thinking they are, because that article just released, yesterday, and I'm assuming a lot of things can happen at a fast pace, and somebody can get really you know, on schedule, on time, in that right instant. They hired 100 people to work on this Battlefield that's very experienced in it. Salute to them, to the people who is up there, trying to advocate for the community to get this stuff right. This is the last Battlefield to make it right, and it would be ashamed if I, came in here and you know whatever. But enough talking about me, talking about the game right now. So we know the BR is in the making, and we already know that again from the leak. It looks polished already for some exact reason. I don't know how it already looks polished. The sky looks so beautiful, that I thought it was real life when I first seen the league. I didn't even read the top bar until I like, oh yeah, this looked kind of different. And just looked up and it was a battle royale. I was like, whoa, yeah. Is y'all can see it on Twitter, probably formerly X, formerly known as Twitter, and you can also probably see it on Reddit now. So they have a big map. You can't really see what the map is, but you can tell that it's very big, very wide. And again, I probably didn't say this, but I'm going to say it fully now. It's probably no reason not to add some of those maps that's in the battle royale that's should be in the base game. Because then why are they working on, two different things at two different, time schedules? The main reason why is already late in development for, campaigning and all this stuff and feel like it's not really worth to release it. The BR is, I'm advocating for it to be good, but my thing is they should have made the base game the first priority. They are doing it, but I don't think the question we ask is what part of the game is we don't think is finished. We know the campaign isn't polished, but then this new leak is coming out and it looks polished, but we can't see any maps or anything. We only see the sky and we can tell like it's a very big map, but it also looks polished as well. And then for, you know, the game, the actual base game, Rush, Breakthrough, Conquest, Domination, TDM, we all know that, excuse me, we all know that those games, I meant the base game looks very good. It looks just like BF3, BF4, and it's going back to its roots. We already know the gameplay looks very, very crispy, very clean. And we only see that the weapons aren't textured. But we're also seeing that the weapons are getting textured. So the thing, yeah, the main question is whether or not, no, the question is, what is the main problem that we should worry about? Should we worry about, the campaign? Should we worry about the VR or should we worry about, the base game? We already know that the base game looked good again. The BR just got a new leak and it looks very well. It looks very textured, but you can't see anything to notice that is, unprepared, untextured. And we already know the campaign isn't textured. So the campaign can get thrown out the window. We haven't seen any new leaks about the campaign yet. And they already said that, the campaign is 3 years, 2 years in backwards time to even get released. So yeah, and that's probably all I'm gonna say for this video. Probably a lot more I can say, but forget it. This is the final thing I will say though, is that I don't think we should be scared for the base game. The base game is already miles better than 2042. What we should worry about is whether or not the bugs is going to be, into the game and not have another 2042 release that doesn't, make the game feel good. If they was doing something to make the game feel good, we already know it's going back to 64 v64. They need to get that tick rate down so we can actually feel our guns, hitting our target. And we should have good optimization. And if we get the beta and is, the beta's still decent, but we still, have a little bit of untexture, then yeah, we can still play the game until the release. Or like for 2 months and then, wait until the release. And then we'll be like, oh, the game isn't really that bad for the base game. But then we have to worry about if the BR is going to be right or the campaign. Some people don't really care about the campaign because, the campaign and stuff didn't have one in 2042, blah, blah, blah. So the BR and the base game is two main things, obviously, that will focus on. That would be focused on, in my opinion. The only right thing you can do right now is just make theories and assumptions, just to have good optimistic optimism, schism for the next Battlefield game. So that's all I'm gonna say for this video. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. The bill isn't very high. It's about maybe $1,000. You know, I think they can get $1,000 down. The $1,000 is going to be, you know, it's a very hard $1,000, but the $1,000 can, you know, get erased very quickly, and I think they're doing it right now. So yeah, stay optimistic about the next Battlefield. This is the last Battlefield to do something right, and I think it's going to be, you know, decent for the base game anyway. Last, again, I'm gonna recap on the last thing. The last update for the, you know, last was the bugs. And if they come out with another update and there's bugs, then we know that the game is somewhere to be very buggable. But they'll get it down. They'll get it down. Bugs and sounds. So yeah, I'm out. See you.